This mentality amazes me when it comes to people and investing. People act like the minute they put their money into something, it's going to tank. Like investing is risky. Something that's been around 50 years will not stop just because you get involved. My name is Beane, the Mentor to Millions, and I'm talking about the 5 investment considerations you should make, and this is video number 4. If the market, for example, has averaged between 8 and 9% for the past 50 years, why are you nervous the minute you put $50 to $1,000 into something and you start watching it every single day? That's why I've been here all week long to show you guys terminology and perspective. These are not investment tips. This is not investment advice. I want to show you guys today video number 4 to give you guys some serious consideration into, I won't reveal it just yet. Let's do a quick recap. Number 1, miniature emergency fund, $3,000 that you can touch what's called a cash equivalent in case something happens and you need the money. The money is there. Why? Because you've been preparing for war in times of peace. We talked about that in video 1. We talked about different retirement accounts in video 2, right? Tax codes, 401k, 401(b), right? IRA. These are just different tax codes, but you want at some point your money to start working for you so you won't have to work for money all your life. Then we talked about video 3, ETFs or mutual funds. It's an early introduction. It's not the best investment in the world. A mutual fund may not make you wealthy, but at least you'll see that your money can make more money as an investor than it will ever in a bank being an investor for that bank instead of yourself. So today, let's tackle video number 4. Real simple. I still want you to text me. I'll consider to 678-632-3914 if you'll consider growing your money. Number 4. Really simple. Let's talk about the stock game. Now, I'm not a stockbroker. I'm not giving you stock tips. I'm giving you terminology and perspective. People often get stocks confused. People think stocks are very, very difficult. It's really not. A stock is a traditional investment, but I want to put a twist on it this time. I want to show you 3 different stages that you can catch a stock at so you'll understand where you are in the game as it relates to what you see everyday people do and as it relates to what you see wealthy people doing, so you can get in that game at the stage that you feel like you deserve it. A stock has 3 different stages. For example, there's what's called pre-IPO. IPO stands for initial public offering. The pre-IPO is when that stock is initially thought of. In other words, a pre-IPO can be as simple as a sheet of paper where stocks are actually divvied out amongst the people who gave this idea life. The people who gave birth to this particular company can literally print up the stock shares and say, hey, this is what we're going to do in the future. This is how much of the company you currently own. That's called pre-IPO. Those shares mean absolutely nothing until investors come in and invest into the initial public offering. You have to be what's called an accredited investor. That's a person who has $250,000 a year in income or worth $1 million, not including home. So an IPO is an early stage where the stock has not yet hit the secondary market. This is when you see the stock ticker across the bottom of the screen. This is when you see the things that the common person will get involved in, which is known as the secondary market, where you can start buying and selling shares. Believe it or not, people misunderstand this. Stocks do not pay interest. People say, Brian, you know, what kind of stock can I get involved in, man, that pays a high interest? Well, the terminology and perspective is slightly off. Stocks pay a dividend, right? In order for you to sell something, a person has to purchase it. So stocks actually pay a dividend. Just terminology and perspective is a little bit off when it comes to financing. But here's the reality. The idea is birthed by a group of individuals or a person. The stock is worth absolutely nothing. That stock is given a tremendous amount of value once it hits what's called an initial public offering. That's where qualified investors and brokers give advice to wealthy people who qualify to participate in the IPO. By the time the public hears about it, it's in what's called the secondary market. Now, I'm not saying either is better than the other. What I'm saying is the marginal leap for you to get wealthy in the stock game. Notice I didn't say do well, or notice I didn't say rich. I said get wealthy happens on stages 1 and 2. We'll talk about that more in video number 5, how to create the opportunity for others to invest so you can have a 100,000, a 200,000% increase and not just a 8 or a 10% increase. That happens here, but billionaires are made here. Guys, listen, the bottom line is take your time when it comes to educating yourself on any of the 5 considerations, but definitely the stock game. It's a traditional investment, but most people don't realize all you have to do is start with the companies that you currently buy from. How is it that you can have your money in Wells Fargo, or have your money in Bank of America, or have your money in Chase and feel like your money is safe, but you're not investing in Wells Fargo, Bank of America, or Chase? You obviously believe in the corporation, or you wouldn't let them house your hard-earned dollars. So why not invest in those companies and get a percentage of everybody's deposit and not just 1/10 of 1/2 of 1% of your deposit? See, this game opens up a whole new ball game because you think about terminology and perspective and you say, well, if I believe in the bank, why don't I just own a piece of the bank? Again, video 5 will break down the ultimate investment, in my humble opinion, that you should consider that ultimately made me a millionaire in my 20s. I lost my $1 million because no one showed me these 5 considerations, and I was able to get it all back in my 30s. And that's why I spent all my time sharing with individuals the difference between the terminology and the perspective, so you won't make the same mistakes I did and have to make more than $1 million twice. So listen, guys, do me a big favor. Continue to video number 5 and text me at 678-632-3914 if you want to learn the rules of the wealthy and use keyword I'll consider. Watch video number 5. I guarantee you, if you keep going, this series will not let you down.